Alrighty. Hello, everybody. If anyone was waiting, I'm not sure if there was anyone waiting, but I just wanted to say hello and Merry Christmas if you celebrate. And I'm going to give it a few minutes for folks to join in. And then we're going to start it up. Thanks for the like. So we're going to give it till we'll give it 3 minutes. So I'm in Central Time right now, so 2:06, but we'll give it until 3:06 Eastern, and then we'll start up the live stream. And I should get rid of these questions for now. Oh, let's see. We got a message. Turkey. Thanks, William Hollinger. Yes, Turkey. Oh, wait. Oh, I thought you were saying the country Turkey. You're right. It was, the first one was Turkey, but I'll save that for a second. I haven't asked the question yet. So, hello, Nanny Nan. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for making it to this live stream. I'm glad you could make it. Keith C. You also said Turkey. Thanks for the answer. I'm going to give it just a couple minutes to get started here so that we have a few folks. So in the meantime, I'm happy to say hello. Hope you're all having a good Christmas Eve. This is my first trivia live stream. I'm still getting used to this live streaming setup, so I thought I'd just create a cute little setup here at my parents' house. Nice to be home and host the live stream. Usually I'll have a fire going in my house, but right now we'll just have a light and a polar bear and a couple of ornaments. Let's see. So we got 6 viewers. So wet here. Sorry, it's wet. Here, I'm in Tennessee right now. It's pretty darn dry here. Which is lucky. In Michigan, I know it is icy and messy. Hello, UberDrew96. Hope that Indiana is great right now. The Indiana video I just put out really blew up, and it kind of blew me away. I'm pretty surprised by the fact that it's doing well. But maybe I shouldn't be surprised. My best video ever a year ago, I think was Indiana or Minnesota, but it was up there. And I owe Minnesota, too, a Weird Stuff video, because apparently people are loving those. And I owe Indiana a second Weird Stuff video. They're near and dear to my heart. They helped me get to 100 subscribers, I'm pretty sure. Sorry about the noise. Oh, man, Memphis is cold. I'm in Nashville. Nashville's very warm right now. It's very, very warm, actually. It's kind of weird coming from Michigan, coming from the Detroit area. All right, give it another couple minutes. We're almost there. I think there's a slight delay between when I respond to you and when you send a message, I'm realizing. So sorry if it seems like I'm delayed, but it's by design, I guess, from YouTube. It wants it that way. That or it's just how the signal gets transferred. Okay. I think we'll get started. So question number 1, some of you have already answered, so if you want to be in the spirit of the trivia, try and ignore it. So we should start with a question about Santa Claus. What modern-day country was the character that inspired Santa Claus from? This character was named, forgive me if I pronounce it right, Saint Nicolaus. Was it Italy, Austria, Turkey, or Romania? So I'm going to give this about 2 minutes. Also, the way this is going to work, I need to figure out a way that you can click on the answer you'd like. On screen, I'm always going to put 4 different answers after I read off a little bit of background and ask the question. And after a couple of minutes, when everyone's answered, when folks have answered, I'll jump in and I'll let you know what the right answer is, and we'll move on from there. Also, I owe everybody a howdy doody and welcome to the Christmas Eve trivia for 2024. Hopefully, if this is enjoyed, we can kind of ramp it up in the future. Generally speaking, I love lighthearted trivia, especially on holidays, and I think that in the future I'd like to do more of it. Even if it's not a holiday, maybe I can host some weird stuff trivia nights for the states I cover. But I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and lay out those simple ground rules. So first question was, what modern-day country was the character that inspired Santa Claus, St. Nicolaus, native to? Was it Italy, Austria, Turkey, or Romania? All right, Kane Bach said Turkey. Going back to previous answers, William Hollinger said Turkey. Keith C. said Turkey. Nanny Nad said Romania. So give it just a minute here, and then I'll go through the answer, and then we'll go to question 2. Okay, I'm going to move on from this. The answer to this question was Turkey. St. Nicolaus was of Turkish descent. That is the character that is the modern-day St. Nick that you hear so much about. Oh, why isn't this working? I better do this again. All right, so question number 2 is going to be about another kind of folklore figure. Oh, I spelled Finland wrong. All right, so the question is, the statement is, Seneschaltus was a folklore figure that predates all other semi-modern interpretations of Santa Claus. He was presented as a bearded man, wearing a red and white suit that would distribute gifts to children if they were good, but also if they appeased him by reciting poetry, singing, or dancing. The English translation of this character's name is Old Man Cold. What was Seneschaltus's country of origin? Lithuania, Poland, Russia, or Finland? Okay, so we have a vote for Poland from Nanny Nan. We have a vote for Russia from Kane Bach. We have a vote for Finland from Keith C. We have another vote for Russia. Oh, wait, no, we don't have another vote for Russia. I just missed it. Jeff E. says, from the North Pole. I like that. Not one of the options, but I love it. All right. Well, I think that's enough time. The answer is Lithuania. Seneschaltus is from Lithuania. There's not a whole lot that I can find about Seneschaltus. There's a lot about Seneschaltus online. However, Seneschaltus, most of the literature pertaining to it, this character, is in Lithuanian, which makes it pretty difficult to translate if you're me, because I barely speak French and Italian, and I mostly speak English. So now I'm going to move on from this and go into the next question. One region's version of Santa is presented as a female named the Christkind, or the Christkind. She wears a crown. She has long, curly blonde hair and is a peace presence that has her roots in baby Jesus himself. This particular version of Santa is more prevalent in Lutheran and Catholic folklore, and children are told that if they spot the Christkind, or Christkind, delivering gifts, they won't get any, so they should go to bed. The sign that the Christkind has delivered gifts is the ringing of the bell. What is the region of Christkind's origin? So our options here are Austria, Switzerland, Germany, giving you a group of regions, Spain or Portugal, England, Ireland, Wales, and Finland, Sweden, Norway. Nanny Nan's confident. She says, I know this one for sure. Kane Bach says Germany. Okay, we've got Deutschland, which is Germany, Finland, Sweden, Norway. Okay, I like that. Okay, the answer to this question is Germany is correct. That is where this is principally celebrated these days, but the answer is, generally speaking, the region of Austria, Switzerland, and Germany. In Germany, they celebrate it. In parts of Austria, they celebrate it. In the Swiss-German part of Switzerland, they celebrate the Christkind, and it's a folklore character. So most of you were correct on this one. I like it. Maybe that's an easy one, but I think it's kind of fun. Okay, moving on from here. Which work is often attributed as the first and perhaps the oldest depiction of the modern Santa Claus? I'm going to list them on screen here. Is it Old Santa Claus with Much Delight? A History of New York from the beginning of the world to the end of the Dutch dynasty, The Night Before Christmas, or The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus? Oh man, I need to work on this formatting. Here, I'll add some quotes and some spacing. Okay. And I'll add some dashes here too, actually, just to help people out. Okay, here's your 4 answers. It's finally formatted well. Greetings from Cologne. Bonjour. I like it. So this one's maybe a little trickier. To ask it again, which work is often attributed as the first and perhaps oldest depiction of the modern Santa Claus? Old Santa Claus with Much Delight, A History of New York from the beginning of the world to the end of the Dutch dynasty, The Night Before Christmas, or The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus? Night Before Christmas. Okay, I like it. That's a solid choice, and definitely one that shaped the image of the modern Santa Claus. Okay, we got 2 votes for The Night Before Christmas. Okay, I'll give it 15 seconds here. Okay, the answer is Old Santa Claus with Much Delight. Let me look this up real quick. I somehow deleted my description here. So this was an anonymous illustrated children's poem that was published in New York in 1821. Old Santa Claus, with much delight, predated by 2 years the first publication of A Visit from St. Nicholas, or 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. You might know it by both of those names. It is the first publication to mention and illustrate Santa Claus's reindeer and his sleigh, as well as being the first to describe his arrival on Christmas Eve. The accompanying illustration... Oh, wait, I can't share that. Sorry. There's an illustration. Maybe I can... I don't think I can share that here. I think this is copyrighted. But basically, there's a illustration with this Old Santa Claus with much delight of a Santa Claus that is... He almost looks like he's wearing kind of like a brown, tall Russian hat. He's in a green sleigh. He has one reindeer. And in some versions of this depiction, he's wearing a green robe. So this is the first Santa Claus depiction. Okay, moving on from this is my favorite version of Santa Claus. This version of Santa Claus is a log with legs. He literally poops out presents the night before Christmas. The tradition here is that this log is often put under a blanket, near the Christmas tree and wrapped in it to keep him warm. Then children around him will place down some nuts and dried fruit near him, and they'll beat the guy with a stick while singing a song about poop. The next morning, if they beat this little log wrapped in a blanket hard enough, there will be gifts under the Christmas tree for them that this little log man pooped out. What country is Little Log Man from? I'll read this off again in a second. Okay, to read it off again. My favorite version of Santa Claus is a log with legs that literally poops out presents. The night before Christmas... he does this on the night before Christmas. The tradition here is that this little log is often put under a blanket near the Christmas tree, and he's wrapped in it to keep him warm. Then they'll put some nuts and dried fruit near him, and they'll beat the poor little log with a stick while singing a song about poop. The next morning, if they beat him hard enough, there will be gifts under the tree. What country is this from? All right, people think Slovakia is the predominant. Yeah, it's kind of warped. It's most people think Slovakia here. So I will answer it in 20 seconds. Okay, so this region is that celebrates this little character named Tio de Nadal. It's a little bit wide, actually, so maybe there are multiple answers here. There are parts of France that celebrate this little character, but as I said, his name's Tio de Nadal, and that is largely a Spanish name. So he is mostly associated with Catalonia and Majorca in Spain, also with Occitania in France to a lesser extent, and also Andorra. So he is, I would say, Spanish or French. I actually didn't realize until I was just reading this right now, this write-up, that this poor little guy that gets beaten with sticks every Christmas Eve is also French. So if you said France, too, in your head, that is correct. He's Spanish, though. So, sorry for... I don't know if anyone... Oh, wait, no. Kane Bach said Spain. So, Kane Bach, you got that correct. Yeah, no, it's Spain, mostly. France is also applicable. So, let's move on to the next question. A modern Christmas-associated snack was originally created because it was highly portable and long-lasting. Roman soldiers actually would carry a variety of this around and called it satura, I think, if I'm pronouncing it right. They'd use this to sustain themselves on their long marches. It was really dense, and it was made with preserved foods, so without refrigeration, it could stay good for quite a long time. What food was this? Was it mashed potatoes, panettone, cranberry sauce, or fruitcake? All right. We got a vote for fruitcake. Alrighty. That's not a bad vote. Oop. Okay, we got another vote for fruitcake by Kane Bach. I'm liking it. Fruitcake, the flagship of H. Oh, he rewriting it. I saw your message got retracted. Sorry. Okay. He said fruitcake. That makes sense. All right. So I think it's pretty clear. The answer here is fruitcake. Panettone. Yeah, that's a good point. Panettone is very durable too. It lasts a very long time for similar reasons. But yeah, it is fruitcake. And I like it. Nanny Nan says it's the flagship of bad desserts, which is perhaps a little bit true. It's not the best thing in the world. I've eaten some fruitcake and enjoyed it. I've eaten other fruitcake and not enjoyed it. So moving on to the next question. There was a song that was written for Christmas that was condemned by the Roman Catholic Church quite widely, to the point that many people would stop playing it, and some still do for this reason after the condemnation by the Roman Catholic Church. Perhaps for good reason, who knows? What was this song? Was it Jingle Bell Rock? Was it I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus? Was it Feliz Navidad? Was it Deck the Halls? Was it Silent Night? I'm formatting this right now, and feel free to submit your answers. Which of these songs was condemned by the Roman Catholic Church? Was it Jingle Bell Rock, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, Feliz Navidad, Deck the Halls, or Silent Night? All right. I don't see any answers here, so I'll give it. Okay, we got Jingle Bell Rock. I like it. Hey, rock and roll, I'm pretty sure at some point was condemned by churches. That's a good answer. Who knows? Maybe some did. Keith C says, I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus. Sandy Claus. Certainly a good answer. Okay, Kane Box says, I saw mommy. Kathy Adams says, I saw mommy. Sandy Claus. That's very fun. Okay, so for this one, we're going with, the answer is, I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus. The Roman Catholic Church basically stated that this song was promoting adulterous tendencies. So it did not enjoy that this was being played so widely. So they condemned it. If you answered I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus, you were correct. Some people probably didn't like Jingle Bell Rock either, though. Rock and roll has been widely condemned by all sorts of groups in the past. Right, so we're going on to the next one. There's an urban legend about the origin of tinsel. In other words, the inspiration for tinsel. As the story went, a hard-working widow lived in a hut with her children, and one day a pine cone fell to the floor of the home, and it took root. It started growing in their house. They actually let the tree grow in their home so that they'd have a Christmas tree. Sadly, though, when Christmas came around, they didn't have enough money to decorate it in the story, but the next morning they found that something was covering that tree that, when hit by the sun, glistened in the light, making the tree beautiful. What was it that in this story covered the tree this evening? Was it beautiful silver and golden tinsel? Was it tree sap? Was it dust? Was it a spider web? Formatting the answer for you now on screen. And I'll read it off again after I do so. All right, formatting the question. Okay, to read it again, there's an urban legend about the origin of tinsel. In other words, the inspiration for tinsel. As the story went, a hard-working widow lived in a hut with her children, and one day a pine cone fell to the floor of the home and took root. They actually let the tree grow in their home so that they'd have a Christmas tree. Sadly, they weren't wealthy enough to decorate it in the story, but the next morning they found that something covered the tree, that when hit by the sun glistened in the light, making the tree beautiful. What was it in the story that covered this tree? Was it beautiful silver and golden tinsel, tree sap, spider webs, or dust? All right. One person said tinsel. Nanny Nan said tinsel. Keith C. said spiderwebs. Kathy Adams said tree sap. Okay, I'm going to give it 10 more seconds. Okay, Canebox said silver and gold tinsel. Okay, so to answer it, the answer was spider webs. There were spiders living inside of the tree, and they decided to weave some webs around the tree. Those webs were a little bit moist with dew inside of the home. Remember, there wasn't air conditioning, so if there was dew, it was going to be inside the house too in this specific day. And when light hit the tree, these spider webs lit up, kind of being gold and silver, and the kids were delighted, according to the story. So, moving on from this one's a simpler question. What Christmas song is the best-selling Christmas-themed single ever? Is it White Christmas, Jingle Bell Rock, Deck the Halls, or Silent Night? Simple question. Oh, I need to reformat that. All right, we're formatted. What Christmas song is the best-selling Christmas-themed single ever? White Christmas, Jingle Bell Rock, Deck the Halls, or Silent Night? Okay, I like it. Kane Box said about the spiderweb thing. Sounds like Coraline. Keith C. says White Christmas. Nanny Nan says White Christmas. Kathy Adams says White Christmas. Kane comes out with a controversial take. Silent Night, deviating from the crowd. Giving it, let's say, 10 more seconds here. All right. The answer is White Christmas. Yeah, it's just White Christmas. Not much else context to that. So, moving on, we have our final question of the day. Kind of sad. I just wanted to give you a short live stream for y'all, and it's great to see you. But this final question, it is during a particular struggle in world history. There was a series of unofficial ceasefires that took place between December 24th and 26th, multiple years throughout this specific struggle. This wasn't sanctioned nor universally observed, but it did occur along the majority of the contested territory during one particular instance. And during this unofficial ceasefire, British and German troops met in the neutral zone, singing carols together and more, even meeting in no man's land to exchange gifts, play football, and bury the dead. They also repaired trenches and dugouts. This truce actually took place pretty much by accident. There was heavy fog covering the so-called no man's land that gave the British and German troops time to fix their trenches. And as the fog lifted, they saw both sides were doing the same thing. Perhaps this made them feel like they had something in common with their adversaries, but both fixing their trenches and both celebrating Christmas, they decided to have a temporary ceasefire and meet in the middle of the battlefield to sing carols, play some football, bury their dead, and exchange gifts. During what struggle did this take place? Was it World War I, World War II, kind of a joke, World War III, or the First Samoan Civil War? This one's probably a little more obvious, but oops, I forgot the actual question. So during what war did this take place? World War I, World War II, World War III, or the First Samoan Civil War? Okay, the Great War, World War I. Sabaton has a great song about it. This is what Keith C. says. I need to listen to this song. Kane Bach says World War II. Kathy Adams says World War I. Nanny Nan says World War I. All right, we'll give it 10 more seconds. Excuse me. All right, the answer is, of course, World War I. That is when this strange little ceasefire took place. All right, well, I just wanted to provide a quick little live stream that was kind of Christmas themed, just to get everyone who's around together and say Merry Christmas to y'all. Great talking to you, and I hope you're all doing well. Maybe I'll do a little Christmas walk tomorrow. Maybe I'll stream it. I know you haven't seen Toffee in a while, my dog. I used to do live streams in the dark with her, and, maybe I'll throw a ball with her a little bit, do a Q&A, answer some questions. I don't have great service where I've been traveling mostly, so I can't really do my typical walk in the woods live streams because my service isn't as good as it is at home, and that's absolutely fine. But tomorrow, I think the dog park's next to a cell tower, so maybe we'll do a little Q&A live stream while we watch Toffee chase balls. That could be fun. Anyways, Merry Christmas to y'all. I'll be signing out in just a few minutes. And Happy Hanukkah, Chanukah, to those of you that celebrate. And I hope you're all having a very Merry Christmas. Nice seeing y'all, and thanks for coming out here and saying hello, participating in a little friendly trivia. Hopefully next time I can get something more interactive put together. Happy holidays to you and your family, Nanny Nan. Happy Hanukkah to you, Keith, if that's what you celebrate. Sorry, I should have said Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, etc. All of that, all of the above. So, have a great holiday. I'm going to sign out here in just a second. I'm not good at saying goodbye, if you can't tell. How do I do this? All right. Going to end the stream. Have a good one. Later, everybody.